Top 15 Best Places to Visit in Brazil. Have you been tingling for rich rainforests, phenomenal urban areas, tropical islands, and eminent seashores? Then you've been tingling for a Brazilian experience. You'll find frontier towns that will cause you to feel that you've ventured back in time, red rock gullies that will cause you to feel that you've ventured onto another planet, and remarkable cascades and wildernesses that will make you want to remain for eternity. Brazil is the nation of Carnival, a festival that assumes control over each city and each spirit. You will have a hard time believing the human limit with respect to tomfoolery and satisfaction until you experience this festas. Ask yourself what you need in your next occasion, and Brazil is ensured to have it on offer. Various biological systems, with uncommon and wild plant and creature species extraordinary to any remaining puts on the planet. Kayaking through rainforests, horseback riding, whale watching, swimming in waterfront reefs, samba moving, the entire night DJs, white sand seashores, history, culture, and huge, full-power urban communities. Let's explore the best places to visit in Brazil. One. Rio de Janeiro. There's simply no other spot like Rio. Welcome to rich mountains, splendid seashores, beyond absurd nightlife, and enthusiast football fans. Known as Cidade Maravilhosa, the magnificent city, Rio is ringed by green mountains while the coast extends for a significant distance. The vast majority start things out for the seashores. The cariocas, local people, consider the oceanside a usual hangout spot, thus much occurs here that you would never leave despite everything have a total excursion. You'll cherish trekking around the ocean, climbing in Tijuca rainforest, hang floating, rock climbing, and cruising to one of a few little islands simply off the coast. Music is wherever in the city, with the most well-known being the African-affected samba vibe. If you have any desire to investigate the nightlife, make a beeline for Lapa, the urban community's red light unmistakable. You'll find unrecorded music and road parties consistently. 2. Salvador. Situated in the province of Bahia, Salvador has an extraordinary energy that is eminent in any event, for Brazil. Generally known for being Portugal's New World capital, it keeps a lot of its pilgrim design, and you'll track down the notable focus of the town in the Pelourinho area. Here you'll find enormous squares with little cobblestone back streets driving ceaselessly, multi-shaded structures, and places of worship like São Francisco with overlaid woodwork and other elaborate elements. There's an astounding expressions development here. You'll track down Alodum drummers in the city, alongside capoeira military specialists, and insane celebrations happening wherever you look. The way of life here is determinedly Afro-Brazilian, and you'll see that in the fantastic food, strict functions and ceremonies, and dance. São Paulo State. One more in the extensive rundown of mind-blowing things about Brazil is São Paulo State. It offers the absolute most elite that the nation brings to the table. São Paulo City is the ongoing blast town. All that here is developing: business, industry, culture, finance, and, obviously, the travel industry. Yet, you can likewise pass on just a little and go to Serra da Mantiqueira. Utilize this shocking mountain range, with its 2,500 meters tops, as your comfortable mountain escape. There's additionally Ilha Bela, to be utilized as your rich island escape. Or on the other hand, attempt Iporanga amidst the Brazilian Atlantic backwoods. You'll likewise track down extraordinary seashores with the rainforest as their background. Attempt the exquisite Ubatuba for a loosening up couple of days. 4. São Paulo City. The heartbeat of São Paulo State is São Paulo City. It's the biggest city in Brazil and one of the biggest on the planet. It's somewhat of a blend, with a wide range of ethnic gatherings calling it home, including the biggest local area of Japanese beyond Japan. You'll track down amazing workmanship displays and exploratory theaters, as well as phenomenal high-end eateries and upscale bars. On the off chance that you need a sample of modern city life, this is your stop. With 20 million individuals, São Paulo is a mammoth city, and accompanies a great deal of huge city bothers. However, for those ready to look somewhat nearer, there is an energy here that rivals New York City. 5. Brasilia. Built in the 1960s, Brazil's capital is a completely arranged and complicatedly coordinated city. Brasilia's landmark foundation is spread out as a plane. Each segment of the plane is an alternate locale like private, government, money, culture, and business. The design here draws in travelers and expert draftsmen the same. Make certain to look at the Three Powers Square. Here you'll track down the Supreme Court, Congress, and the Presidential Palace. 6. Fortaleza. Another of Brazil's big cities is Fortaleza. It's most popular for a fiery social scenes, extraordinary seashores, and, surprisingly, more prominent shopping. Assuming that you're going for the seashores, look at Morales, Mucuripe, Iracema, and the universally adored Praia do Futuro. Spend your mornings walking around Centro, the most established area of the city, and afterwards spending your nights in Praia de Iracema, an area thickly loaded with lodgings, eateries, and nightlife. Whenever you've had your fill of Fortaleza seashores, use it as beginning stage to find the curious fishing towns and moving ridge seashores of the Ceará coast. 7. Parachi. One of the most famous stops for travelers is situated along Brazil's green coast in the province of Rio de Janeiro. Parachi is overflowing with cascades, emerald green ocean, monster beachfront mountains and tropical woods. When a Portuguese state, the core of the town is as yet the notable community. Complete with kaleidoscopic frontier structures and cobbled roads worked in the 1700 years during the level of the Brazilian dash for unheard of wealth. A significant number of the houses have been changed over completely to informal lodgings which local people call pousadas. The whole historically significant area is perfect for walking around. The paths are shut to vehicles. It truly feels like you've ventured back in time. Remember to look at the frontier posts. Numerous that actually have their unique cannons, many that still have their original cannons, and Capella de Santa Rita, a lovely 18th century church. 8. Recife. There isn't anything not to cherish about the Venice of Brazil. Inside the city is an organization of streams, extensions, islets, and landmasses, and right outside are tropical rainforests with waterways and islands to investigate. There is a great noteworthy old town here, as well as extraordinary culture and incredible seashores. The old town is known as Recife Antigo and is situated on its own island close to the harbor. It's safe to say that Boa Viagem is the most well-known oceanside around because of the white sands and coral reef. Recife is a huge city with parts to offer, including a marvelous spot to spend Carnival. 9. Olinda. 6 kilometers from Recife is Olinda, is a 16th century Portuguese pioneer town. The notable old town sits on a slope encompassed by trees and loaded up with houses of worship, galleries, and eateries. In 1982 it was proclaimed an UNESCO World Legacy Site. The remainder of the town is no less beguiling with lots of 18th century engineering, cloisters and religious circles, and incredibly painted houses. When a forerunner in the sugarcane business, Olinda has changed into a little craftsman's province. brimming with specialists, studios, and other imaginative sorts. Look at the posadas in the old town on the off chance that you're keen on involving Olinda as a base to appreciate Recife. Furthermore, Carnival is marginally unique here, celebrated essentially during the day with the music and dance zeroed in on customary African culture. Manaus. Considered by quite a few people as the doorway to the Amazon rainforest, Manaus sits on the Negro Stream. The capital of Amazonas and quite possibly of the biggest city in the country, it has mind-boggling tourist spots like the Rio Negro Royal Residence and the Amazonas Show House. In the event that you're in the mind set for some wonderful nature, look at the Gathering of the Waters, a 3-mile stretch where the Solomos and the Negro streams show side to side without completely blending. Ultimately, the two waterways join to shape the Amazon. The vast majority come here as a place to pause on their way into, or out of, the Amazon. Assuming that you have time, look at the zoo that lets large numbers of the creatures wander indiscriminately, and a little beachside exhibition hall right external the downtown area. Iguazu Falls. This dazzling regular miracle runs for 2.7 kilometers along the boundary with Argentina. Iguazu Falls is a progression of cascades along the Iguazu. The mix of tasty green timberland, intriguing untamed life, and it is inebriating to amazing cascades. Utilize the city of Foz do Iguaçu as your headquarters as you appreciate overflows like the 80-meter Demon's Throat. With many tumbles to find, you should seriously mull over a visit in one of the vacationer elastic boats called Zodiacs. 12. Bonito. Bonito is a one-road town loaded with charm. It fills in as an ecotourism model for Brazil and as a center point for the encompassing regions. On the off chance that you're an outside globetrotter and water fan, this is your spot. Find Abismo Anhumas, a tremendous cave shrouded in tapered rock where you can jump and swim in an underground lake as well as do some abseiling. Or on the other hand, what about swimming in the completely clear Rio da Prata? To miss the macaws that home somewhere down in the Barraco das Araras. To top everything off, investigate the Serra da Boducana Public Park. 13. São Luís. The historic center of São Luís has been pronounced an UNESCO World Legacy Site thanks to its very much re-established pioneer manners. There are such countless exhibition halls, artworks, and displays to investigate while here. São Luís keeps a generally Afro-Brazilian culture and you'll track down both reggae and Bumba Meu Boy live events. While you're here, make certain to get the Centro de Cultura, a historical center with shows on the 3 significant Brazilian celebrations. You could likewise like the Archaeological Gallery and the Casa das Tulas, a 19th-century market building. At the point when you're prepared, cross the Baía de São Marcos for a fast road trip to Alcântara to see this notable town as it gradually slips into tropical rot. 14. Jijoca de Jericoacoara. This unlikely treasure is one of the terrific seashores in Ceará, Brazil. Named by the Washington Post as one of the main 10 most lovely seashores on the planet, you'll track down quiet oceans, white sand ridges, and dazzling blue tidal ponds. It's a settling spot for enormous turtles and consequently was pronounced a natural insurance region. It's likewise been a public park starting around 2002. Because of all that, the region has remained generally disconnected and immaculate. They've had power for under 20 years in Jerry, and on account of nearby law, the roads must be lit by the moon. 15. Curitiba. This completely metropolitan capital of Paraná State is a notable presentation community. Visit the Wire Show, a steel tube working with a transparent rooftop, as well as the Guaira Theater for a few extraordinary projects. Curitiba is likewise notable to metropolitan organizers across the globe as one of the most proficient urban communities at any point constructed. You'll find a 6-block stretch assigned as a walker zone, tones of parks and trees, imaginative answers for metropolitan issues like contamination and neediness. It's an extraordinary spot to re-energize prior to finishing your Brazilian experience. Above are the top interesting spots in Brazil. If this information is really useful for you who are planning to come to Brazil, please like, subscribe to the channel, comment and share for many people to see. Thank you very much. See you in the next videos.